we had attorneys and bankers, and we had a meeting. I was one of the executors to the estate. And one of the attorneys said, after the few of these meetings, said, well, you know, we're going to have to sell Graceland. And I looked at him, and I never felt so, how could I say, strong on my conviction, is that that will never happen. I looked at him straight in the eye. Never happen. So he goes, we're running out of money. And I said, we're not selling Graceland. So that's when I went out to start searching for someone to help me, guide me, assist me, partner with me, anything to help. I said, Jack, what if you help me? What if you partner with me on opening Graceland? And Jack just, looked at me, he goes, well, sure, I mean, absolutely, and agreed to get started, rolled the sleeves up, and had many, many meetings, and here we are today, and he's still here with us today, and he was the right person. So I feel blessed in that.
I remember might have been one of the very first, but in a meeting in the big conference room at the Glankler firm. And everybody was there. Yeah, I think you were there, Joe was there, Jim from the bank.
Those are the other two executives. The other two executors.
But Frank Glankler, that was such a character, and Mac Webner, remember, he was a rights lawyer. In other words, there were like a room full of like 20 lawyers and accountants and everything else with the clock burning, and basically Priscilla was just, you were just like, just this single voice going, no. They were all, their aggregate opinion was the smart fiduciary thing to do is sell everything, invest the money, and etc. And Priscilla was just going, no, we're not doing that. And
we're not selling Graceland.
Yeah, and it was, it laid the groundwork, frankly. Think what a disaster in retrospect. In retrospect, it would have been so sad.
Yeah, it would never meant to be. And I kept thinking in myself, my God, what would Elvis do if he knew that Graceland was going to be sold, or, it wouldn't be passed on to his daughter. It was like all that was going in my mind, and I think that was what I really looked at them as, lawyers and accountants, and they're thinking money, of course, and I understand that, but I'm thinking entirely different. This was a home, a beautiful home, and it was never going to happen. It was never going to be sold, ever, ever.
I can remember a consultant from Washington or something, a museum consultant that came in and was looking around and going, oh yeah, they're going to peel wallpaper off, and they're going to take this, they're going to take this, and you're going to have to put up plexiglass here and plexiglass there. And I remember by the time he was done, I thought, this thing's going to have the warmth of a hospital.
Yeah.
And it was, and we ultimately, we talked about it a lot, and you decided to bank on the reverence.
Yeah.
And what a winning bet. 22 million visitors later, and that thing is still so, they've just treated it with reverence.
Yeah, they did. They have, and still do. And I think, they, like we said, they feel it too. But I could not see the plexiglass. I could not see anything changed. Then it wouldn't be his home. It would just be like whether it be a museum or somebody else's house. It could never be. I think the spirit of Elvis is there. I think people feel that spirit, and that's why they respect it.
I can remember we decided to go really fast because it was the last of what they used to call World's Fairs in Knoxville. And we thought, all right, there are people going to be coming to Tennessee. Let's try to get Graceland open. And of course, we were on a shoestring anyway. There was a limited...
We were running out of money.
Yeah. No, there's an article. Judge Evans, the probate judge, even did an interview and expressed his concern back to that huge conference room filled with attorneys and accountants and everything else, that they were just going to burn up what liquid assets there were. So it wasn't a total shoestring catch, but basically opening Graceland, and it was, but Angie and I were talking about this earlier, it was so profitable right from the beginning because the overhead couldn't really catch up with the revenue. You know, when we opened, the ticket was $5. The
Wow.
tour Graceland was $5.
Wow, my gosh. Jeez.
And we've still got the original flyer with adults $5, children $3.
And we didn't know at all, you know, if we would even have any guests. We had no idea. We were really concerned about if anyone would show up. And boy, to our surprise.
Yeah, remember we used to say it was like sending an invitation to the world with no RSVP.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking and a bit frightening, and but I have to say people were coming in the droves and loved it, and here we are today. You know, it was hard for me. It was really hard for me too to open those doors, and hard for people, you know, thinking that people were going to come through. It was so private for so long, and now people were going to be coming in and looking at our life, the way we lived. Everything was still, and it was hard. It was hard to actually have to come to terms, although I knew we had to do it, and I had to give that up, and I had to look at the good of it, the fact that we've saved Graceland, we have tourists coming in, we have people coming in, and it's for a good cause. And it was all about saving Graceland and keeping it home, keeping it with Elvis and the family. And that was hard. That was I was telling that to some of the founders today, that because they had asked me the same question. I said, you know, still when I go in that house today, it's home. It's just the feeling, just the atmosphere, just the tone of it. It's like sacred. It's just so beautiful, but it's like I can see Elvis at the dining room table and the guys. I can see over to the right when I walk in the piano and him sitting there playing the piano, and I'm sitting on the couch across from the piano, you know, listening to him sing gospel. And I can visualize everything as if it was happening right then, every time I go in. I can see him coming down the stairs. I can see him looking to see who's down the stairs, or listening, who's in the kitchen before he came down the stairs. Every visual I see when I walk in that door.
Well, and Graceland has maintained some of it for everyone. People every day comment about how they feel like Elvis is just away and could come back anytime. And it's just this authenticity that house has, that you and Angie and all the people involved in maintaining it. But there's something that's still just so authentic about Graceland.
It is authentic, and people who come in feel that. There's a reverency that people have, you know, when they come in. They automatically, I believe, know, you know, that it's a home in his home. And I that was one fear. I thought, oh no, the carpets are going to be all dirty because they're white, or someone's going to take something, or, you know, there were all of these thoughts in my mind of, you know, will it ever be the same or feel the same? And I think the guests that come into that house, the friends that are there, and the tourists that come in, there's a reverence. Hello everyone, this is Priscilla Presley, and I want to thank you fans very much for your love and dedication for Elvis Presley and for Graceland. I enjoy very much meeting you and talking to you and hearing about your stories about your love of Elvis. So keep coming, keep visiting, and we're here waiting. Bye-bye.